to always being in a good position to strike no matter what.
1 minute to go. Let's go, buddy.
And Livingston certainly has put that on display this evening.
You gotta finish. You gotta finish. Control
I'd like to see both of these men do a little bit better job of putting together a combination, though. You know, as a lot of heavyweights sometimes do. They're looking for that one-punch knockout, so you end up with a lot of exchanges that are just single punches or a string together of what would otherwise be single punches, and not any true combination. I think if either of these men could put together a really nice combination, they would find success.
Tony, you got 30 seconds. You're not tired. Break them up. 30 seconds. Let's go.
Low leg single attempt from Aguilar.
You gotta get head outside. We gotta finish this one. Finish it if you want to win, Tony. Let's go.
10 seconds left in round 3. And that'll do it. Livingston versus Aguilar. Here's the $1,000,000 question, Laura. How did you score that fight?
Oh, I knew you'd put me in this position. You know, I think I give the fight to Aguilar. I really do. I think that he did a better job of dictating where the fight went. Although, man, Livingston really had some moments. You're putting me on the spot.
I know.
I'm watching the fight to talk about the fight. How about you?
I like to put you on the spot.
I'll put you on the spot.
I actually felt that Aguilar got the first round. I gave the second and the third to Livingston. So this will be very interesting to see how the judges saw it, because if we know anything about MMA, it's you never want to leave it in the hands of the judges, as the great Dana White puts it.
The great Dana White, yes. No, it's absolutely true. You just never know what can happen. We've all seen some really crazy decisions before. You know, a lot of times they get it right.
Sure.
So they don't want to. I think judges have a pretty thankless job when it comes to MMA, but they definitely can screw it up.
If we've just proved anything, it's two people just watched the same fight and had a completely different, completely different view on the score. So, yeah, you're right. The judges certainly have their work cut out for them judging these fights. Let's go into the cage for the official decision here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, all three judges have the bout scored 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision out of the red corner, Galen Big Body Livingston.
Livingston taking the unanimous decision from Aguilar.
You can say it. It's okay. You can say it.
I hate to say I was right, Laura.
No, you don't.
But it appears that I was right.
You were right.
Back to Queensmead Boxing League. It's been a brilliant season so far, and tonight's fight card promises to be even better. Some of the league's most talented boxers are putting their reputations and undefeated records on the line as they bid for glory. And of course, we've got that middleweight showdown between Gareth Gardner and Danny Lynham. All that to look forward to. So let's now go meet the fighters.
So unorthodox. It's going to be an awkward fight for Bradley Alford tonight. This is going to be fireworks.
Yeah, it's good from Cannon. There's that big shot from Coates. Spirited finish from Cannon. Both looking really to make a name for themselves. That's a great shot. In the neutral point, he's down again.
every good fighter has a loss, but it's not going to happen to me tonight. I can guarantee that.
I can't be any better than what I am today, but I am confident of getting the victory.
The British middleweight title.
Danny Lynham, an aggressive, come-forward style fighter. Oh, Garner looks hurt there. Garner definitely hurt.
This really is a terrific dust-up.
Up first tonight, exciting super middleweight contenders Terry West and Lloyd Richards make their Queensberry Boxing League debuts in an explosive clash. In welterweight action, Nathan Too Slick Leeson starts his assault on the division when he takes on Michael McPherson in a final eliminator for the vacant English title. And it doesn't get much bigger than this in our main event when British middleweight ruler Gareth Gardner puts his title on the line against the #1 challenger, Danny Lynham.
So, super middleweight contest, debutants both, Terry West against Lloyd Richards. What do we make of this, not knowing perhaps too much about either just yet?
No, I mean, we don't know a lot. What I will say is the Queensberry Boxing League super middleweight division, Phil, has been a bit sort of short on talent for the last sort of couple of years, but I think these two are going to be fantastic additions. I've heard a lot of good things about both of them. I think this is going to be explosive.
So, chance for someone to make a name for themselves. Let's find out who it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is brought to you in association with Lonsdale, PJ Brown Construction, New Era Recycling, SPC IT Recyclers, and Risa Performance Screws. Introducing your first fighter, standing in the blue corner, representing Three Oaks Boxing Gym, he is Terry West. And standing across the ring in the red corner, representing the Boxing Gym in Bromley, he is Lloyd Richards. This super middleweight contest will be fought over 3 2-minute rounds. Your referee in charge of the action is Mr. Ken Curtis.
So when I say break, you take a step back. In the event of a boxer going down, the other one goes to a neutral corner. Okay? Shake your hands. Press the line over you.
So all set to go. The super middleweight division, 12 stone. We've got a couple of fighters we're seeing for the first time in the Queensberry Boxing League. And this promises to be quite a cracker. Terry West in the claret and blue trunks, the West Ham crest on his left thigh, you might just be able to make out. And Lloyd Richards in blue and white.
Yeah, as I said to you, Phil, the super middleweight division in the Queensberry Boxing League has not really had sort of too many stars over the last sort of 2 years, but I think good things happening from both these guys. I've heard a lot of good things about Lloyd Richards, and I'm excited to see him tonight.
Well, he looks quick out of the blocks. I noticed he's southpaw as well, which caught me a little bit by surprise, but he started really well. Really asking some questions of Terry West early on. Terry West supporters, incidentally, are not far behind us, so I'm sure they'll be getting behind their man.
Yeah, he looks very, very calm, Lloyd Richards there, Phil. He's just waiting. He looks like he's trying to draw the lead off of Terry West there and then counter it.
Very calm, cool, collected start by the man from the iBox gym in Bromley.
Let his head go, come on.
Yeah, I think he's caught Terry West with a couple of shots as he's come in there and given him food for thought, and he looks a little bit tentative now, Terry West.
There's a very slight mark just to the left of West's eye as well.
Oh, what's the loading on? Come on, the pair of you, come on.
Caught Terry West with some good body shots there. He looks like he's targeting the body. He's setting himself up behind the jab and then working well inside.
So impressive stuff so far from Richards.
Oh,
West copped right onto that left hand.
Walked straight onto that stiff left straight.
Let him go, let him go.
Yes, that's one of those that you can almost feel yourself, because you saw the impact, you virtually felt the impact. He was literally on his way in, West, and Richards tagged him. But to be fair to Terry West, he took it well. That's a good start for Lloyd Richards.
There's a big difference between how you visualize a fight and how it's going to go and what you're going to do in a fight until you actually get in there and you know you're in there with your opponent and he's giving you questions you can't answer.
Well, certainly food for thought for Terry West. Don't think it was quite the fight he envisaged, at least not so far, but it can change quickly.
Seconds out, round 2.
Queensberry Boxing League action, remember, fast and furious, only 3 minutes in this case, 3 times 2-minute rounds to decide the winner here, and another good start from Lloyd Richards, who already has troubled West again early in this second round.
Yeah, earlier in the weigh-in, I mean, actually Terry West is the bigger man in there. I mean, you can sort of you can see it, but at the weigh-in, Terry West weighed in just over the 12-stone limit. Had to make the weight the second time of asking after visiting the sauna. Lloyd Richards came in at 11 stone 10 pounds. So you know, naturally Terry West is the bigger man, but you wouldn't know that from the action.
Yeah, he certainly looks in good condition, Lloyd Richards. He certainly looks ready for this, and he's not disappointing his supporters so far here at the famous Epsom racecourse. Only a month ago, of course, it was hosting the Derby, but tonight it's fist power rather than horsepower. And at the moment, most of that power coming from Lloyd Richards, and Terry West in claret and blue, sparkling trunks, needs to find a bit of sparkle to his boxing here.
Yeah, I mean, Terry's holding the centre of the ring there, and he's looking for the shots, but again, as I said, that he's just moved off there. But you know, watching Lloyd Richards, he's very, very calm. He's very sort of composed, and he's really looking to pick those shots.
Again, just biding his time, Richards. You can see the steely stare in his eyes as he's looking for an opening.
He is. He's just trying to draw that lead off of Terry West and then counter it.
A bit more shadow boxing than actual boxing for a while, but finally blows exchanged again. Referee Ken Curtis just having a word with the pair of them, saying they need to step it up a little.
Yeah, I mean, Terry West, you know, for me, Lloyd Richards clearly won the first round, so, and again the second, so he's difficult. You can see him shaking his head as he's going back to the corner there. I think he's a bit of a puzzle, Lloyd Richards, at the moment, and he's not worked it out in those first 2 rounds.
Yes, he'll perhaps be looking to his corner for any clues as to how he can turn this one around. But it's a tough ask now for Terry West from the Three Oaks Boxing Gym in Portsmouth down on the south coast. He's an electrician by day. He's got to somehow switch the lights out on Lloyd Richards, but frankly, on the evidence of the first 2 rounds, I can't see how he's going to do that, but maybe he'll prove us all wrong.
Yeah. I'm just looking at Lloyd Richards, you know, he's standing up in the corner, still very cool, very calm, getting his instructions from his trainer Wayne Maguire, you know, and they've got to be pleased with his work so far. One thing I will say is I spoke to Lloyd earlier, and I saw he's not wearing boxing boots in there tonight, trainers, and I said, why was that? He said, well, basically he's got problems with his ankles, and he can't wear boxing boots, they just don't work for him, so I'm sure people watching at home are going to be interested in that.
It certainly doesn't seem to have restricted his movement around the ring, but it is interesting. They're more the sort of sneakers, trainers style of footwear.
Good shot there by Terry West.
Yeah.
Very good shot. Snapped Lloyd Richards' head back there.
Well, maybe he's been told he's got to try and finish it this round if he wants to win, and he looks like he does want it. So Lloyd Richards now is going to find himself in a bit of a scrap.
Yeah, he's in a firefight now. You know, it's last chance saloon. Only a 3-round fight. Terry West literally nearly throws referee Ken Curtis out the way to get to him.
Ken fortunately can hold his own in any boxing ring, so he won't be troubled by that at all. But maybe Lloyd Richards will be troubled here. It's certainly just shaken him out of his easy cruising state that he seemed to be in for the first 2 rounds. And all credit to Terry West for coming out firing in this 3rd round.
Yeah,
knows he needs to produce something.
He does, you know, there isn't another good shot there.
Like you say, he's the slightly bigger man, the slightly heavier man, and maybe he can trouble Lloyd Richards.
He certainly
and
looks
are
like...
we about to see a complete turnaround?
A lot more aggression from Terry West, and he's getting the better of the argument in there now. What would have happened if this would have been the first round?
I think that's a question he might pose himself later if he runs out of time in this comeback. He might say, why didn't I do that earlier? But it's a great effort in this third. Terry West really putting it all on the line here. Talking about Lloyd Richards' movement, well, he's on his bike here to try and keep out of trouble.
What's the leading on? Come on, break!
Little counter from Richards, but it's more or less West who's pouring it on now. Well, there we go. A terrific last round for Terry West, but I think he may have left it a little too late. And for me, Lloyd Richards in those first two just did enough. But a sterling effort from West.
After 3 fantastic rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. And we have a majority decision in favour of your winner. From the red corner, Lloyd Richards. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for a Ghana runner-up, Terry West.
So Lloyd Richards, a worthy winner for me, albeit by majority verdict. But that was an impressive debut on his part.
He said he was an aggressive fighter, and we saw that. Lloyd, well done, particularly in that first round. Tell us why you are icing your hand at the moment.
I think I broke my hand in round 1, so I couldn't do what I wanted to do the rest of the fight.
Because I thought there was a real gear shift in that the first round you just came out of the blocks, and then on the third round he looked like he was coming back, but that was why you didn't have the defence there.
Yeah, well, left-handed, so that's my main shot. I just couldn't throw it. I threw it and it was just hurting too much. So I just carried on. And
how did you continue 2 rounds with what could be a broken hand?
Dug in and just boxed.
Are you pleased despite what's gone on?
Yeah, I'm really over the moon.
Well done. And the other question I wanted to ask is why you actually wear trainers.
I've got a plate in my ankle. I had a car crash when I was younger, so I find it's comfortable, so I just wear them.
It's amazing. You don't give yourself an easy job, but on this occasion, your debut, and you've got the win. Well done, Lloyd.
Thank you. Thanks.
No, I hope the hands are right.
Cheers. Thank you.
So on to the final eliminator for the English welterweight title. We got Michael McPherson against Nathan Leeson. Now again, we've seen a little bit of these two lads. This is a real opportunity for somebody to step up, isn't it?
This is going to be a fantastic fight, Phil. I'll tell you that if you look at this contest, Nathan Leeson is the light middleweight champion at the moment, the English light middleweight champion in the league. He's come down to welterweight. I think it could be a mistake. He's struggled to make the weight, whereas Michael McPherson, again, he's come down to welterweight for the first time, but he is more natural at this weight, and he has trained his absolute heart out for this contest. We're going to see a different Michael McPherson and maybe a very different Nathan Leeson, so it's going to be interesting.
Well, it sounds like opportunity knocks, certainly for McPherson. Let's find out.
I've made the weight comfortably 2 weeks ago, so obviously I want him to stay true to his word and go to war with me. Obviously, obviously I'm in the best shape that I've been in years, fitness-wise, strength-wise. Had a great training session, so obviously we'll see if he's a man of his word, which I don't think he will be, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, since I've been training with my actual mates, so it's just told me what to do, this, that, and the other. Like, I've been focused. The weights flew off. Living a better life. Personally, I reckon I'll stop him in the 3rd round. Personally, that's how confident I am. Normally, I've been confident, but my body is telling me, you're there, like you've made it. I made the weight comfortably, strong, fit. Couldn't ask for nothing better.
I think the weight that I've gone down to is a bit too much for me. I don't think I'll be fighting at this weight again. Stay at light middle. I believe I've got the hardest Michael McPherson that anyone's had to fight, and I know it's not going to be an easy night tonight, but I think I'm just that little bit cleverer than what he is. Well, I've made him believe that I'm going to have a war with him, On the scales, it got a little bit heated, and he was asking me for the war, so I told him I'll give him it. But like I said, I like to use my brain, so I'm going to give him a boxing lesson, hopefully. I think he might even go into the trench. It's going to be a hard fight, no doubt about that. But obviously a Nathan Leeson win.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is brought to you in association with Lonsdale, PJ Brown Construction, Highway Services Limited, SPC Business IT Recyclers, and Ricer Performance Screws. Introducing your first fighter, standing in the blue corner, representing the undisputed boxing gym, he is Michael McPherson. And standing across the ring in the red corner, he is the Queensberry Boxing League's current English light middleweight champion, representing the Felix Fighting Systems Gym in Northampton, he is Nathan Too Slick Leeson. This welterweight title eliminator fight will be fought over 4 2-minute rounds. Your Queensberry referee in charge of the action, Mr. Ken Curtis.
Well, on paper, this one looks like being a terrific matchup. It's a final eliminator.
I'd say light the fuse now, Phil, and get ready for something explosive, because I know that Michael McPherson, he has trained incredibly hard. He's come down, actually originally boxed at middleweight in the league, now down at welterweight. Said he's going to go down to light welterweight after this, but first he wants to take care of Nathan Leeson, and I think this is going to be an absolutely fantastic fight.
Round 1.
Well, Leeson already the league's English light middleweight champion. It's Leeson in the leopard print trunks, McPherson in the dark pants, and already they look like they're going to go for it from the off. So fasten your seatbelt, folks. It's no holding back from the first bell.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan Leeson, well, straight to work, really, looking impressive, but McPherson, again, both landing shots.
Leeson needing to be quick on his feet. He's can be a bit of a switch hitter, so he's happy to change styles. Southpaw and orthodox.
He's got that kind of Engel-style fighter approach. He sways out of the way, switch hits, shots from all angles.
McPherson more orthodox by contrast, compact, stocky, but a very, very accomplished boxer himself, so this one really could go either way. Maybe a battle of style over substance, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, if you're in any mistake, who the two pair who are in there tonight, you've got Nathan Too Slick Leeson in the leopard skin pants, kind of reminiscent of a certain Nassim Hamed, and Michael McPherson in the black.
Kind of indicates the showman and the understated fighter, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, one thing Nathan Leeson isn't lacking in his confidence, but he's got the skills to back that up.
And he's going through the full repertoire already in this opening round, and McPherson maybe having to call upon all that training that we've heard he's been doing. Not a good first 2-minute exchange for me. Leeson just having the better of it. But that's not to say that McPherson can't find a way back, because it's early stages of this one. Remember, we're 4 2-minute rounds to determine the winner in this final eliminator. Both, I'm sure, have plenty more to show us yet.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that opening round, you know, Michael McPherson, he looked a little bit shell-shocked by some of the shots that were coming, and that's the problem. Nathan Leeson's a very unorthodox fighter. You know, it's almost like...
It's almost sort of 360-degree fighter. You kind of don't know where he's coming from next.
Yeah, it's one of those things I always think, you know, you're expecting somebody in the rules of boxing to box one way, and then when they come out and they're, hold on, you're not following the script, you can't hit me from that angle. And that's Nathan Leeson's awkwardness. Now, Michael McPherson's got a puzzle to solve here. How is he going to pin Nathan Leeson down, and what's he going to do differently now? As I say, it's 4 rounds. That was only the first round, so be interesting to see what his corner have told him.
And here we go then, McPherson, all in black, trunks and gloves. The animal skin print of the hunter tonight, Nathan Leeson. He's hunting his second Queensberry Boxing League title. He's already got one in the light middleweight division. He's looking to go one step on after tonight, perhaps get a shot at the welterweight title. But he's got to deal with McPherson first. And likewise, McPherson would love to put away Nathan Leeson. So a lot of respect between these two, a little bit of showboating as well.
Yeah, you know, as I say, no lack of confidence there from Nathan Leeson whatsoever. Michael McPherson's been hit with a couple of shots. He's nodded a kind of wry sort of acknowledgement there to Nathan Leeson. And Nathan Leeson's, again, you know, he's boxing well. This is probably the best I've seen Nathan Leeson box, to be honest with you.
Certainly mixing up his shots nicely as well.
I think what Michael McPherson, good shot there from McPherson. I think Michael McPherson, the way to beat Nathan Leeson, you've got to back him up. You can't let him have this room to work the kind of skills that he's showing here tonight. He needs to be put under pressure, backed up. You need to cut the ring off. You can't give him this kind of space and movement, because you can see he's very, very dangerous at it. Head and body there, switching levels. Again, Nathan Leeson looking impressive.
And his Too Slick moniker, very apt, because he is a tricky customer to get hold of. And it's certainly Leeson who is landing the more impressive blows at the moment.
Yeah, because generally in his previous fights, Michael McPherson, you know, he's a bit of a slickster himself. Lots of head movement, swaying out of shots. A little bit of marking under the left eye there of McPherson.
Leeson's got to be careful he doesn't get carried away with the showboating, but so far for me, that's 2 very, very good rounds under his belt, and I've got Leeson well ahead at the halfway mark in this welterweight contest. Well, they've all got Team McPherson on their T-shirts. It might need a team effort here to get him out of a little trouble here. Got to call on all the experience of his corner men. See if they can find a way to disturb this man, because Nathan Leeson, to date, has been very, very impressive this evening.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Nathan Leeson, you've either got to back him up, put him on the back foot, you know, not give him that room to show those skills, or, you know, you've got to land something on him that's going to make him take notice.
10 seconds, 10 seconds.
So far, McPherson hasn't been able to wipe the smile off his face. 1 or 2 other gestures as well from Leeson, who clearly likes to entertain as well as to box. But as Alan Foley was saying, he's got the skills to back up. He can talk the talk, but he's looking to prove that he can walk the walk as well.
He's certainly living up to his moniker of Too Slick, because he's definitely showing some slick, silky skills in there. Nice right hand. Yeah, he's just switched there from orthodox back to southpaw.
with which he does it. Yeah, sometimes even people who can do it, there's kind of an almost automatic click as they switch.
Yeah.
His is very much a sort of seamless transition.
Oh, again, picking his shots well. Lovely right hand there as McPherson came in.
Oh,
Good shot
nice
from
left
McPherson,
though from McPherson. Yeah, that just caught Leeson for a while. Body shot from Nathan Leeson now. So they're both going through the full repertoire here, asking questions of each other.
Good shot there from McPherson. Right hand acknowledged by Leeson. But at the moment, not enough from from McPherson to stem this tide that Nathan Leeson's got a head of steam.
He's having the odd success, whereas Leeson's having continued success, really. McPherson backed up in the corner, fought his way out well, but he really does need to step on the gas here, and I don't know how much he's got left in the tank, but he needs to bring it all to the party now, Michael McPherson. Otherwise, he's going to be too far gone in this contest unless he can land a knockout blow. Leeson allowing the hands to drop, which may be dangerous.
Yeah, I think he's, you know, you can see the confidence oozing now out of Nathan Leeson, because I don't think Michael McPherson, although he's been catching Leeson, not enough to win the rounds, but maybe he's felt his power. Again, there are a couple of shots, Leeson dropping his hands at the end of the round, which he just can't afford to do, but maybe he's got no respect there for Michael McPherson's power. Maybe he thinks he can walk through his shots.
Yeah, perhaps the power isn't there. Maybe he's done enough in the opening couple of rounds to draw the sting away from Michael McPherson's punches. So even though a couple were landing towards the end of that round, as Alan was saying, maybe not really the sting, the snap behind them to do any real damage to Nathan Leeson, who, for my money, has really taken control of this fight right from the start, and he doesn't look like he's about to let go.
No, I mean, I think it's fair to say that McPherson needs a stoppage to have any hope now of getting a draw even. So it's yeah.
10 seconds, corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out, fourth and final round.
A sporting tap of the gloves before the Gladiators lock horns once more for another 120 seconds of frenetic action.
Oh, both landing there. Michael McPherson landing a good shot on Leeson as Leeson caught Michael McPherson as well.
You do occasionally see the simultaneous knockdown, don't you?
I think the best one I ever saw was Cello Render and Paul Samuel.
That's right.
Both landing left hooks at the same time.
McPherson covering up, big body shot there from Nathan Leeson, just crashing into the rib cage.
Yeah, you could hear that resonate around the arena there.
Leeson busy again. McPherson trying to fire back, but just firing blanks at the moment. Leeson with the slightly longer reach is managing to keep McPherson out of his range. McPherson needs to get in and do some damage, and do some damage quickly, otherwise this fight is going Leeson's way.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Nathan Leeson tonight. You know, not that I've not been impressed with him before in the league, but I think this is the best I've seen him box. When he won the light middleweight title last time out in the league, when he beat Alan Wilkes, I thought he was he wasn't really putting anything behind his punches. They were more sort of placing them, but he's put a little bit more spite into his work tonight.
Maybe he realised he had to against an opponent like McPherson. He certainly upped his game here. And he's treating the boxing fans inside this Epsom Arena to a real treat tonight. It's been a great contest between the two. And there's a little friendly word in the ear at the end from Nathan Leeson. But that was a good scrap. But for me, only one winner, and that winner, Nathan Leeson.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 very skillful rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and we have a unanimous decision in favor of your winner. From the red corner, Nathan Too Slick Leeson. Please show your appreciation for a gallant runner-up, Michael McPherson.
Well, Too Slick he certainly was on the night. the holder of the English light middleweight title, will now have the English welterweight title in his sights.
Nathan Leeson, he talks such a good game, and deservedly so. Nathan, what a performance.
Thank you. I'm over the moon.
And you gave him the war plus some.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I knew he was going to be slippery. He's a trickster like me, so the only way to beat a guy like that is to be a bit cocky and wind him up, because it gets to you. So I thought, if I go to war with him, he'll play me at my own game.
Yeah.
Immediately, wind him up, do some cheeky little things to wind him up. You know, it's all boxing. And bring him out of his shell and counter him. And that's what I had to do.
Nathan, you must be so frustrating to fight because you're so elusive, and your angles, you're going from southpaw to orthodox, you're open, your guard's down, and then your guard's up. It's so tricky to get at you.
Don't get me wrong, there's certain people you have to, it's like, you've got to find the right key for different people. I can't fight everyone that way because I get found out.
Yeah.
But with McPherson, like I say, drop the hands, invite him in, and punish him when he misses. That's what you have to do.
And he's going to be taking this badly because he wanted it so much.
I know he did. The thing is, I said to him after, look, you played the wrong game. If you'd have tried to box a little bit more instead of getting frustrated, it could have been the other way around. I knew from the off, I studied videos on him of what punches to throw. I thought, I looked up, this is going to be a task. And the tactics worked perfect.
Well, I reckon we could have packed this place several times over for the main event only. I mean, the British title fight, middleweight division. I mean, it's mouth-watering, isn't it?
This ticks all the boxes, Phil. I mean, I don't know what to say about this fight. You've got Gareth Gardner, three-weight Queensberry champion, defending his title for the third time against the #1 ranked challenger. Danny Lynham, young, hungry, aggressive. Gareth Gardner looking to keep that undefeated record and that title safely around his waist. It ticks all the boxes, as I say. I cannot wait to see this.
It's one of those fights, both unbeaten. Something's got to give. I don't know what it'll be.
Like, he hasn't seen me at full strength, and as I've said to people, I am at full strength. The best man will win tonight. I'm not going to be like certain other opponents when they got beat, oh, they was drained, or it was this, it was that. If it's the unfortunate happens tonight, I get beat, I'll shake Gareth's hand. He's a better man than me because I can't be any better than what I am today, but I am confident of getting the victory. I will pick the game plan. We have a couple of game plans. Obviously, I've seen Gareth, everyone's going on about how he won against Lowry, but I ain't going to stand there like Aaron Lowry. You know, fair enough to Aaron, I heard he was ill and whatnot, and Gareth looked impressive. Everyone knows about his work rate, but I've trained that I'm fighting the best Gareth Gardner. Well, I explained to Alan Foley before, Gareth Gardner's a runaway train, and the only way you stop it is putting the buffers on it. So that might give you a little insight onto how my game plan's going to be. Yeah, I believe I'm going to win. How that win comes, when the opportunity arises, I will take it. But yeah, I'm very confident of getting the win.
I'm feeling good, coming underweight by about a pound, so I'm happy with that. Training's gone really well. We've changed everything now because we've had to try and put on a bit of extra weight. I'm feeling really strong. Fitness is always there. I'll never doubt my fitness. So yeah, hopefully Danny's coming here to fight as well, and not going to stand there and look at me like he did with Sam. So yeah, it should be a good night, I hope. I'm just going to put everything into practice, what we've been doing in the gym. You know, every good fighter has a loss, but it's not going to happen to me tonight. I can guarantee that. Yeah, make sure I am still the main man. Fitness and strength is going to be there. So yeah, it should be a good night. Gardner win all the way. You know, always put money on myself. Going to retain my title, third defence. So yeah, I'll be walking out of that ring with my belt and my head held high.
Ladies and gentlemen, this title contest is brought to you in association with Lonsdale, PJ Brown Construction, Civil Engineering and Groundworks, New Era Recycling, SPC Business IT Recyclers, PDR Roofing of Milton Keynes, and our main event sponsor, Ricer Performance Screws. Introducing the challenger, standing in the blue corner, representing Felix Fighting Systems Gym in Northampton, he is Danny Introducing the reigning champion, standing across the ring in the red corner, representing Juggernauts Boxing Gym in East Grinstead, he is Gareth Gardner. This main event will be fought over 5 2-minute rounds. Your championship referee, Mr. Seamus Dunn.
Well, you can barely hear yourself think inside this Epsom Racecourse Arena now. This is the main event. The British middleweight title at stake. The challenger, Danny Lynham. The champion, Gareth Gardner. 2 unbeaten Queensberry Boxing League records on the line. Something has got to give tonight.
I'm looking at Danny Lynham. He looks scary. This is going to be one fantastic fight. I cannot wait.
Well, that's Phil Duffel ringside with Alan Foley, the co-promoter of the Queensberry Boxing League. And it's fights like this, really, that the organisation was set up for, isn't it?
Oh, you know, this fight ticks all the boxes, Phil. You know, Danny Lynham, an aggressive, come-forward style fighter, undefeated in the league, and he is looking to, you know, take over the mantle from Gareth Gardner, who, you know, without question is the #1 fighter in this division and in the league itself. And, you know, no feeling out process, no, you know, let's see what the other one's going to do. They are straight down to it.
Well, it's the champion in the white trunks with the red trim. Danny Lynham in black with an eye-catching lime green accessories, including the boots to match.
Yeah, Gareth caught Danny Lynham with a nice couple of shots, a right uppercut, and just before that with a... Oh, Gardner looks hurt there. Gardner
good shot there by Danny Lynham. And Gardner was troubled for a moment, and Lynham saw his moment, and he's stepping in. Lynham just getting tangled up with the paraphernalia ringside. Well, if it was noisy to start with, it's gone up a notch or two since then. Cracking stuff. And Lynham, who, to many, probably the underdog coming in, has suddenly really put his title credentials on the line. He's made Gareth Gardner think long and hard about it. Gardner, remember, a 3-weight champion in the Queensberry Boxing League, but he's having to show all his championship mettle now.
Oh, both of them getting caught with big shots.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. I'm confused there, but I don't know if that was a shot that caught Danny Lynham or what was it, but what a start to that contest. For me, for the first time in the league, Gardner hurt by those punches that Danny Lynham detonated on him. And, wow, you know, what an explosive start.
Bit quiet for me, Alan. Unbelievable stuff. Just what we wanted. Talk about light the blue touch paper and stand back. That was extraordinary.
You know, they say when something goes quiet, you can hear a pin drop. I don't think we'd be able to hear a meteorite strike this venue at the moment. I mean, unbelievable atmosphere here, Phil. And everything, well, everything I thought it would be.
Well, I spoke briefly to Gareth Gardner, the champion, in the interval. He said he wanted to dedicate tonight's fight to his first ever boxing coach, David Jones, who was buried 5 years ago exactly today. He certainly wouldn't want it to have gone out in that first round, so maybe it's a little bit of inner steel, maybe it's that first boxing coach looking down on him that dragged him through that first round crisis. But Gardner's made it to the second, and he's looking to make Danny Lynham take some of his own medicine now. It really is extraordinary stuff, this. You cannot take your eyes off it for 1 second.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by Gareth. You know, he's showing his relentless aggression again, but speaking to his camp before this fight, they said he was going to use his boxing ability more, not get involved in a tear-up with Danny Lynham, but at the moment he seems to be doing just that, playing into Lynham's hands.
Yeah, that's the way Lynham likes it. He's been impressive in his victories against Andy Thompson and Sam Holloway to date. This really is a terrific dust-up. There's no lack of skills as well, but it really is courage on the line for these two. No quarter asked or given.
Yeah, nice. Danny Lynham taking a slightly different tack there. You know, he's sort of he's got on his bike a little bit, moving, good footwork. Gareth again, but relentless from Gareth Gardner.
Remember, we're scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds. They can't keep up this pace. It's not humanly possible.
Although you say that, Phil, take us back to March of this year when Gardner fought Aaron Lowry.
Yeah.
Oh, this was the pace from start to finish. So,
yeah, maybe they can make me eat my words again. But it's phenomenal stuff. All that conditioning, all that training coming to bear now.
Oh. Massive body shot there from Danny Lynham.
Gardner took it in his stride though. Well, a pulsating 2 rounds. Barely time to breathe. Somehow the judges have got to make a note of who they've got ahead. I'm afraid I'm handing over all responsibility for this one. It's just sit back and enjoy it. Well, it's funny, they're both manual workers in a sense as well. Danny Lynham, a
it's all over,
by
Phil.
trade.
It's all over.
What's going on there?
I think I was watching Danny Lynham in the corner. He seems to be in some distress. I don't know whether it's...
Maybe it's a hand injury or something. Yeah, they're pointing to the right wrist. It looks like a hand injury. Well, I was just talking about them both being manual workers. A roofer against a carpenter, but it's the roofer who appears to have a hand injury, and it looks like it's over in sensational fashion. Lynham unable to continue. They're getting the gloves off as quickly as possible, but he must have sustained some serious damage. Got the medical crews in at ringside. They're trying to get the gloves off as quickly but as carefully as possible. And what was boiling up to be an absolute classic has been cut short.
It was simmering up fantastic. You know, it had all the ingredients there, only in the second round, but, you know, Danny Lynham is a warrior. So it's obviously a serious hand injury. They're just taking the bandages off there, and, you know, he looks like he's done some serious damage for him to retire, because he was so up for this fight. You know.
Well, it's definitely that left hand which did some damage, it must be said, to Gareth Gardner in the course of the fight, but ultimately it's done some serious damage to himself. And what was shaping up to be a brave challenge from Danny Lynham has ended prematurely.
At the end of round 2, your referee, Mr. Seamus Dunn, accepts the retirement of Danny Dynamite Lynham due to a broken hand. Therefore, your winner, and still a British middleweight champion, Gareth Gardner. And presenting the championship belt is Matt from our main sponsor, Ricer Performance Screws.
There was so much hype around this fight, and I know, Danny, that you're gutted. Tell me what's going through your mind at the moment.
I am just gutted, all the hard work I put in. I knew it would be a tough fight, but I felt comfortable in there. I trained for it and it was going well. I caught him good in the first round. That's when I caused the injury. I tried to go through it, obviously got through the rest of the first round. My corner said it will numb up. So obviously I went out and tried to pull with it in the second round, but you're not going to hold Gareth Gardner off with one hand, and it wasn't numbing her. He, you know, like I said, Gareth fights the same way. He comes forward, and I trying to do it for another round would be a pointless exercise. It's only going to get worse on my behalf.
He remains undefeated, but Gareth, I know that's not how you wanted the win.
No, you know, I thought Danny was there to come for a fight. No matter how what, you break your hands. Many people have done it and carried on. You know, Chris Eubank boxed a whole fight with a broken hand. You know, it numbed up after a while. He caught me with some lovely shots in the first round. Wobbled me a bit, you know. But yeah, I'll crack on. You know, I got through it, held on a little bit, threw my shots. So yeah, I'm not sure what happens. You know, just gutted. I sold a lot of tickets, put a lot of time into it, and for him to retire on the stool, yeah, it's just not happy. You know, it's not what I come for. It's not what I want to do. So, but never mind. It's the win. It's just gutted for everyone that spent lots of money to come and watch me fight, expecting a full fight of boxing. So
because it was just so much in that first 2 rounds. I mean, like you said, he did wobble you in the first, and then you came back in the second, and I wanted to see what your jab was going to do, and I was excited about the next round.
I was just getting warmed up, you know. It took me a couple of weeks. All my cornermen were down for Lee Cannon for the fight before, so I warmed up for Bradley Alford's fight, which was 2 fights before mine. So yeah, I was just getting into it, you know. He caught me cold, caught me with a shot. I had my hands down. The first thing I said to my dad when I got to the corner was, yeah, I got caught with a silly shot, had my hands down. He said, well, keep your bloody hands up and don't do it again then. So,
and you were doubtful for a moment, weren't you?
Yeah, that's why I got caught, you know. I don't know, you just do silly things sometimes, get caught with silly shots.
So it certainly lived up to all the hype, and its name, Too Hot to Handle. There were spectacular bouts right through the fight card. Let's remind ourselves now of some of those highlights. Welcome back to Queensberry Boxing League. It's been a brilliant season so far this year, and tonight's fight card promises to be even better. Some of the league's brightest stars are risking their reputation and undefeated record this evening as they bid for glory. And the promotion's main fight sees Kieran Leister take on Alexander Anderson for the vacant middleweight title. Let's go meet the fighters.
Asking some questions of Terry West early on. Lloyd Richards now is going to find himself in a bit of a scrap. This one really could go either way.
Again, picking his shots well. Lovely right hand there as McPherson came in.
Oh, nice
McPherson though.
every good fighter has a loss, but it's not going to happen to me tonight. I can guarantee that.
I can't be any better than what I am today, but I am confident of getting the victory.
The British middleweight title.
Danny Lynham, an aggressive, come-forward style fighter. Oh, Garner looks hurt there. Garner definitely hurt.
This really is a terrific dust-up.
Opening tonight's show, Queensbury Southern Area light welterweight champion Brad Halford puts his title and undefeated record on the line when he faces challenger John Martin. Novice champion Lee Cannon steps up to face explosive young prospect David Cove as he bids to become a 2-division champion at welterweight. And it's a clash of the undefeateds in our main event as Kieran lights out Leinster and Alex Anderson battle it out for the Southern Area middleweight title.
Now to the Southern Area light welterweight crown, where Bradley Halford is defending his title up against John Martin. Now again, John Martin's taken this at fairly sort of late notice, really, hasn't he?
He has, but he's been in full training. He's a very tricky customer, and being a southpaw, awkward, whereas Bradley Halford's very game and strong himself, and he's defending his title. He doesn't want to lose his title.